All right, so welcome back for another deep dive. And oh boy, listeners, you guys have given us quite a mystery this time.
Oh, yeah.
3 whole books.
Yeah.
From the Truly Devious series.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're going like full on into a world of murders, riddles, and secret societies at like this really, really prestigious academy.
Mm-hmm.
Buckle up, everyone.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild.
It's going to be a wild one.
Yeah.
I think what makes this one kind of unique and fun is that Maureen Johnson, the author,
Yeah.
has created all of these interconnected mysteries across different timelines.
Yeah.
So we have this like original Ellingham case from the 1930s,
Yeah.
and then like decades later, present day murders that seem to like mirror those events.
Oh, it's so cool. It's like this history repeating itself, but with like a modern twist.
Exactly.
Yeah. And at the center of it all is this brilliant, but like kind of awkward protagonist, Stevie Bell.
Right.
I love her so much. Like she's just so determined to solve these cold cases, even if her methods are like a little unusual.
Unorthodox.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's go all the way back to that original Ellingham case, right?
Okay.
Start there.
Yeah. So Albert Ellingham, the Academy's founder, he was a man of immense wealth and like even bigger eccentricities, I think.
Yeah.
And his whole philosophy was learning is a game.
Right.
And it attracted some of the like brightest young minds in the country to this academy.
Wow.
But then, of course, tragedy struck.
Oh, no.
His wife and daughter were kidnapped. There was a ransom note.
Oh.
And it was signed Truly Devious.
Oh, my gosh.
And if that wasn't enough, on the same day, a student named Dottie Epstein vanishes.
It's like something out of a classic mystery novel, right?
Yeah.
Like a secluded setting, all these like really interesting characters,
Yep.
and then a crime that just seems impossible to solve.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess knowing what we know, how does this initial crime kind of echo throughout the whole series?
So the Ellingham case, it really does set the stage for like everything that happens in the books.
Okay.
It establishes these themes of like hidden truths, unreliable narrators, and the power of the past.
Right.
And Dottie's disappearance, it just adds another layer of intrigue. Like, was she involved in the kidnapping? Or was she another victim of Truly Devious?
Oh my gosh. It's
so many
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like that question, it haunts Stevie, right?
Yeah.
It haunts her and us as readers.
Right.
We're always like looking for clues and trying to piece things together. And I feel like the more we learn, the
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the present day.
Okay.
Stevie Bell arrives at Ellingham Academy just like raring to go, ready to solve this cold case.
Yeah.
That's like consumed her for years.
Mm-hmm.
But she quickly realizes that the academy, it's still a place where secrets are kept.
Right. Very shortly after she arrives, a fellow student, Hayes Major, dies.
Yeah.
In what seems like an accident.
But like, come on, it's Truly Devious. Nothing is ever that easy.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It seems like Stevie knows that too.
Yeah, her intuition tells her there's something more to Hayes' death.
Oh, for sure.
And what everyone's saying.
Right.
And as she starts to investigate, she finds this network of secret tunnels underneath the academy.
Oh my gosh.
Which is like really creepy considering that both like the original Ellingham tragedy and Hayes Major's death, they both happened on the same date. October 30th.
Oh, spooky.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things that I find really interesting about Stevie is her habit of like going through people's stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of fascinating, but also like a little creepy.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
So do you think that's like her determination to find the truth, or is it something a little darker?
It's a great question. And I think it's something that Maureen Johnson really wants us to think about.
Yeah.
Like her methods are definitely unconventional.
Right.
But she is like completely driven by her curiosity and she just wants to understand the people in these mysteries.
It's like she's trying to climb inside their heads.
Exactly. Yeah.
To see the world how they see it.
Mm-hmm.
But that search for the truth, I feel like it comes at a cost for her.
Oh, for sure.
She struggles with anxiety and like she even relies on Ativan to manage her panic attack.
Right.
So do you think that vulnerability makes her a better detective or does it hold her back?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I think on the one hand, her anxiety could like cloud her judgment.
Yeah.
And make her like jump to conclusions too quickly.
Right.
But on the other hand, it might also make her more sensitive to little details that other people would miss.
That's true.
Yeah, the emotional nuances.
It's that like constant push and pull between how brilliant she is and how vulnerable she is.
Yeah.
It just makes her so interesting.
Right.
Yeah. And then to make things even more complicated, we find out that her boyfriend, David Eastman, is connected to this powerful politician, Edward King, which just adds like a whole other layer to the story.
Absolutely.
So what do you make of that connection?
It makes you wonder if there are like bigger forces at play that are influencing everything happening at Ellingham.
Right.
Like, could David be involved? Is he hiding something from Stevie?
Oh, my God. So many.
Yeah. Lots of questions.
And then, like, as if one death wasn't enough.
Right.
There were two more, Ellie Walker and Element Walker.
Oh, gosh.
So the body count is, like, rising.
Yeah.
And Stevie's like, no way, this can't be a coincidence. She's convinced that these are connected back to the Ellingham case.
Yeah.
And she's going to prove it. Her investigation leads her to the box in the woods, where she takes a job as a counselor at Camp Sunny Pines.
Oh, Camp Sunny Pines.
Which sounds so nice and idyllic.
Right.
What could go wrong at summer camp?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be that simple, right?
Yeah.
So she meets the camp owner, Carson Buchwald.
Okay.
And he's like immediately drawn to her detective.
Oh.
He's like, okay, you're the one. You can solve these unsolved murders.
Oh, wow.
That happened at the camp back in 1978. And you guessed it.
They're like the Ellingham case?
They're very similar.
Oh, my gosh. It's like every step she takes just leads her deeper and deeper into these mysteries.
Exactly.
And then just when you think you have a handle on things, the killer at Camp Sunny Pines turns out to be Patty Horn.
Oh, Patty?
The seemingly innocent character.
Oh, it's such a good twist.
And it's not just any secret. She used her father's, like, military intelligence background to commit these murders.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a total, like, subversion of expectations. Like, we're so used to thinking of some characters as harmless and innocent, but she shows us that. Like, everyone has a backstory.
Right.
A history that makes them who they are.
Yeah.
And sometimes that history is filled with all this pain and trauma that can really change a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, like, Truly Devious doesn't stop there. In 9 Liars, Stevie finds herself in another mystery.
Right.
This time in England.
Uh-huh.
Like, what starts as just a fun vacation with her friends turns into this whole other mystery.
Right. It's like a descent into a familiar abyss.
Yeah.
So this time she meets this group of friends called the Nine.
Okay.
And they all went to boarding school together in the 1990s.
Okay.
And one of them, Angela, she disappeared under mysterious circumstances.
Oh, no.
And the remaining members of the group, they're so secretive.
Oh, gosh.
They're hiding something.
Right.
There's a locked woodshed.
Okay.
This sense of, like, collective guilt and just this fear that the truth is going to come out.
I can't wait to find out what happens.
Right. And then, of course, there are more murders.
Oh, no.
The victims this time are Rosie and Noel.
Oh?
And you can probably guess the killer is Peter.
No way.
This, like, seemingly harmless guy.
What?
Yeah, it's another twist that really makes you think about who you can trust.
Yeah, it's like she's playing with us.
Right.
Like she wants us to look beyond the surface and think about how complicated people are.
Exactly. In each book, she gives us these characters that seem normal and ordinary, but then she reveals the darkness under.
Right.
And I think the message is clear.
What's that?
Appearances can be deceiving.
Okay.
And even the people we're closest to can have these huge secrets that could destroy us.
Yeah. So we have 3 books, 3 mysteries, but they're all connected.
They're all connected.
Yeah. So how deep does this go?
That's what we're going to find out.
Okay.
Stay tuned as we keep going with Truly Devious.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think one of the things that makes these books so interesting is that they're not just about solving these puzzles. It's like, it's about unraveling, like, the human psyche. Like, each character from Stevie to the victims, even the killers, they're so well developed. Like, they all have these inner demons and past traumas, and that's really what drives their actions.
Totally. Like, take Stevie's anxiety. It's not just like a character quirk. It's something she really struggles with. And we see how it affects her. Like, it makes her do things impulsively sometimes. But then other times it makes her notice these details other people wouldn't.
Right. Totally.
It makes her like a more human detective.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it also, I think, like, forces us as readers to confront the reality of mental health. Like, this isn't a weakness. This is part of who she is.
Right.
And it's something that, you know, a lot of people listening probably deal with too.
Yeah, definitely. It adds like another layer of realism to this series.
For sure.
But let's talk about the riddles for a second.
Okay.
Like Albert Ellingham was obsessed with them.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like all over the books.
Right.
Sometimes clues, sometimes metaphors.
Yeah.
What do you think they mean?
Well, I think they work on like multiple levels.
Okay.
On the surface, they're puzzles to be solved, like intellectual challenges for us.
Yeah.
But I think they also reflect like the nature of the mysteries themselves. Like complex, they're misleading.
Right.
Just like riddle.
There's one riddle that I can't get out of my head.
Oh, yeah.
It's from Truly Devious. It's, where do you look for someone who's never really there?
Yeah.
Always on a staircase, but never on a stair.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's so creepy.
That's a good one. I think that one really like sums up Hayes Major.
Right.
Like he was this big presence at Ellingham, popular, charming, but then like we find out there was nothing really there.
Yeah.
He was fake, like a phantom on the stairs.
And the answer to the riddle, the cracks between the stairs.
Right.
It's like all the secrets at Ellingham.
Exactly. It's so smart how she uses these simple riddles to like point out these bigger themes.
Yeah.
And it's not even just the riddles. Right. It's how she uses these classic mystery novels, like little nods to Sherlock Holmes, Agatha Christie, even Dorothy Parker.
It's like she's playing a game with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, can you spot the references?
Totally.
I love that.
And that's like why these books are so fun.
Yeah.
It's not just a mystery.
Right.
It's like a whole experience. It's a puzzle box.
Okay.
That we're trying to open, like this tapestry woven with secrets.
Oh, speaking of secrets.
Oh, yeah.
We got to talk about Stevie and David.
Oh, David.
He's hiding things. And his connection to Edward King, like, is not helping.
Right.
Is David trustworthy?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, David is such a weird character.
Yeah.
Charming, smart.
Right.
Obviously cares about Stevie, but he's keeping secrets.
Yeah.
And his connection to Edward King, who's this powerful guy.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It makes you think, like, is he part of something bigger?
Right. Is he protecting someone?
Yeah.
Or is he using Stevie?
Whoa. It's so many possibilities.
It's hard to say, yeah.
Right.
And that's what makes these books so good.
Yeah.
We're always trying to figure out people's motives.
Yeah.
Rethinking the evidence.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what Maureen Johnson's going to do next.
And just when we think we have it figured out,
yeah,
she throws us a curveball.
Oh, yeah.
Like Patty Horn.
Right.
The nice camp counselor. Cold-blooded killer.
Yeah.
Or Peter.
Oh. Yeah.
Seemingly harmless. Killed Rosie and Noel.
I know. These are the moments that make these books so great. These twists that leave you like reeling. Yeah. It's like, it shows how good of a writer she is.
Yeah.
She makes you feel safe. You think you know the characters.
Yeah.
And then, bam.
Yeah.
She pulls the rug out from under you.
Totally.
And these twists, they're not just there for shock value.
Right.
They're there to make us think about how complicated people are.
Yeah.
And how, like, anyone's capable of anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it's not just the villains who surprise us.
Right.
Like, Stevie has her moments.
Oh, for sure.
We see her bravery.
Yeah.
But she also has doubts.
Yeah. She's not a superhero.
Yeah.
She's a real person.
Right. She makes mistakes.
Yeah.
But she never gives up.
That's right. She keeps going.
Yeah.
She wants the truth.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it is. It's like, even when things are tough, you can keep fighting.
Yeah.
You can keep looking for answers.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, back to those twists.
Okay.
I mean, Patty Horn.
Yeah.
Using her dad's military training to kill people?
I know. That was crazy.
It's mind-blowing.
It was. Yeah. It's like, we're trained to think certain people are harmless.
Right.
But everyone has a past.
Yeah.
And sometimes that past can really mess you up.
Yeah.
And Peter, he seems so normal.
Yeah.
But that just shows you can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
You know, we miss the warning signs.
Right.
Because we see what we want to see.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So, like, how do we deal with all this?
That's the question. Yeah. How do we handle these hidden truths?
Right.
These unreliable narrators?
Yeah.
The secrets that can bring us together or tear us apart.
It's tough.
It is. It's about staying open, questioning what we think we know, and accepting that the people closest to us could be keeping secrets that would everything.
It makes you wonder about the secrets we all keep.
Yeah, the masks we wear.
Yeah.
The stories we tell ourselves
to
justify what we do.
I think that's what Truly Devious is all about.
Yeah, it's a reminder that the truth, it's hard to find. It's like this puzzle made of memories and different points of view and lies. Messy.
And sometimes the hardest truths to face are the ones we hide from ourselves.
Exactly. But even with all that darkness, there's hope.
Okay.
We see it in Stevie. Okay. She wants justice. She doesn't let fear stop her. Right. And we see it in these friendships. Yeah. That even with the secrets and the pain, they still survive. Yeah. And you know, we see it in the power of stories. Oh, yeah. To show us what it means to be human, to make us question things, and to remind us that even when things are bad, there's always a chance for...
That's a good point. Yeah. So as we keep going with these mysteries, let's remember to pay attention, keep our minds sharp. Yeah. And be ready for anything.
The truth might be hard to find, but the journey's...
It's funny, like, even after we know who did it, there's still this, like, feeling of, did we really get all the answers?
Right?
You know? It's like those layers of deception go beyond just the characters.
That's true.
And the story. Yeah. It's like he reaches out to us, the readers, and it's like, what if we're still missing something?
Right. And I think that's one of the things Maureen Johnson does so well. Yeah. Like, she doesn't make it easy. She doesn't give us all the answers. Yeah. And I know that can be annoying for some people. Yeah. But I kind of like it.
Right.
It keeps you thinking about the book.
Totally. Like, even in Truly Devious, we find out who Truly Devious is.
Right.
But, like, there's still so many questions.
Yeah, there are loose ends.
Yeah. And then The Vanishing Stair ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh, yeah. What's going to happen to Ellie?
Right. Exactly. And I think that's, like, how real life is.
Yeah, not every mystery gets solved. Yeah. Sometimes it's just messy. Yeah. And you're left with more questions than answers.
Like, we're always looking for the truth. Yeah. But maybe it's more about the journey than the destination.
That's a good way to put it. And I think that's really important today with so much information coming at us all the time.
Yeah, we have to think critically.
Right. Question everything.
Don't just believe everything you see.
Exactly. And be okay with not knowing everything. Yeah. Sometimes there isn't a right answer.
So what do you think Maureen Johnson is trying to tell us?
That's a good question. There's a lot going on. On one hand, it's like, be careful about secrets. Don't judge people too quickly. Right. But I also think it's about being strong, facing your fears, standing up for what's right, and never giving up on finding the truth.
Yeah. And what about Stevie?
Oh, Stevie.
Well, what can we learn from her?
I think Stevie shows us that it's okay to have doubts, to be scared. Right. Even if you're smart, she's not perfect. She messes up. Yeah. But she never lets that stop her.
Right. She just keeps going.
Yeah. She's curious and she believes in the truth.
She's an inspiration.
She is. Yeah. It's like we can all be great even if we don't feel like it.
Even if we're scared.
Exactly.
So for our listeners who took this deep dive with us.
Yeah.
What's the one thing you want them to remember?
I hope they remember how powerful stories can be, not just to entertain, but to make us think, to question things, and to remember that the truth, it's usually more complicated than we think. Thanks.
So maybe this will make you want to reread Truly Devious.
Yeah, go back and see what you missed.
Right.
Or pick up a new mystery.
Yeah, there's so many out there.
There are.
And they're all full of secrets waiting to be uncovered.
So stay curious.
Yes, keep those minds sharp.
And remember, the truth is out there.
But it might be hiding.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Truly Devious.
It was fun.
Until next time, happy reading, everyone.